Martin is on. What do we got? I think it was mine. I think we're ready, Jen.
Mike Dolson,
I'm here.
Tom McDonald,
Hune.
Jamie Pluff, Greg Dumontier, Carol Langford, Danielle Matt,
Here.
Bing Matt, James Still, Martin Charlo,
Present.
Len Tooteeth, Lanisha Trahan.
Carol, will you give us a prayer this morning, please?
Creator, today we just give thanks for us being here, and the ones that are traveling, we just ask you to watch over them. We also ask for a prayer for the families that have lost loved ones. We have lost quite a few lately, and we just ask you to be with the families and lift them up and give them hope and let them know that their loved ones are on a journey, and a good journey. So we just ask you to be with them at this time. We also pray for our elders and our children and our culture and everything else. We just ask you to watch over it and keep us strong and safe. And oh, a prayer for Leonard Irving too. I was there last night.
And Tooteeth is on.
Thank you, Carol. We have minutes from February 17th. Anything to amend on the minutes? Tom?
Would make the motion to approve the minutes with any corrections.
Second.
Motion by Tom, second by Martin to approve the February 17th minutes with corrections. All in favor? Martin, Lynn, we got unanimous. We have an agenda for today. No walk-ins? No walk-in. Anybody have additions? Carol, Danielle?
Mike, I did ask Dan Decker if he wanted to come down since we didn't have walk-ins.
Okay, Dan. Tom? If there aren't any other things, I'd welcome a motion. Motion by Tom to approve the agenda with additions. Second by Greg. All in favor? We're unanimous. Well, Carol, go ahead.
Sorry, I received a letter from William George Rossback. And he's in Arizona at the prison Seguero, or however you say. Anyway, he's down there. He has a couple of requests. And I reached out to the gentleman that's listed in the letter. His name is Shannon Rivers. He's a chaplain for the prison grounds, numerous prisons in Arizona and New Mexico and California. Anyway, Mr. Rossback requests a buffalo skull for their ceremonies, their sweat lodge area that they have in the prison. And when I talked to Shannon Rivers, he said that he was able to take that in as a spiritual thing when he goes into the prison. And Martin happens to have a skull that he's going to give to me so I can get it down there to them. And then they requested meat for their feast, and Mr. Rivers didn't know if that was possible to take meat in, but he said you could probably bring in dry meat. So I told him I was a tribal leader, and he said, well, you as a tribal leader can go in and visit all of the people if you want to. And so I'm asking council if they would allow me to travel down there and see them and take the dry meat. And I'll buy the dry meat, but if you can donate some to the tribe, I would take that down. And if it's under consideration, I understand that, if you have to think about it, but I think it'll be in March when he's asking me to come down. And so, and I would also find skulls. Mr. Rivers asked if there was other skulls that I could obtain for other prison spiritual ceremony things, for the sweat lodges and stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can find more than one skull. And I appreciate Martin so much for providing that, because they get to sweat once a month. But I think, I remember when we fought with Montana State Prison when the sweat lodge was in there, and I got to go in with the tribal leaders. I don't know, it's been probably 20 years ago, but it was a fight to be able to get a sweat lodge and other things in there for our people and the other tribes. And so I think we're fortunate that hopefully the prison will allow us to bring it in, or allow Mr. Rivers to bring it in, and then allow me to bring the dry meat in. So, and then I can meet with them too. And if it's not me, I would at least ask another tribal leader to go down. The tribes have to take it down.
Go ahead, Daniel.
No, I would suggest making contact with Food Sovereignty, because they should have some elk meat. Might not be able to do the buffalo, but Food Sovereignty may be able to assist with some of the meat, and maybe even getting some of their team to help dry some out.
Okay. And I would buy some dry meat from M&S buffalo meat if I could too.
Don't know that there are any objections on council if you participating in all that. Go ahead, Carol. Or Tom.
Yeah, I can understand the request for members of our tribe that are incarcerated to receive things that would help empower them, help them in recovery. And so I think that's great if we try to do that everywhere. My question, Carol, is are you asking for travel assistance to go down there?
Right. I could pay for my own way, but I need a letter on behalf of the tribe to say that, I'm a tribal leader and I'm representing the tribe to be able to go into the facility as a tribal leader. So, yeah.
I think that's great to be able to provide that. We should always provide that to our tribal leaders to go visit our membership wherever they are, in institutions. But I'm fine with that. I just was questioning the travel thing. So anyway, I don't have any issue with the request. And we should have a standard letter template for that. Because you're a standing elected official. And
Well, I'm thinking since my son's down there, I don't want no pushback why I'm going. So if I just pay my way, then I don't think there should be any question.
Daniel.
I guess, Carol, if you traveled with somebody, a second tribal leader with you, I think that takes out that conflict of interest. If you needed somebody to go with you, I'd be happy to join you. So I'd like to see the facility and how they treat our membership. So I think that traveling as tribal leaders to help out our membership and make sure their conditions are safe, that I think the tribe should be able to support that. And I think that would resolve the conflict.
And actually, there's, I think, 3 tribal members from Dixon, from your area.
There.
Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah, so I'm obviously 100% in support of helping out in that way. I just want to throw out a word of caution that is particularly how this might be reflected in the minutes. That if we start getting into the practice of providing specific things for people that are trying to do this, we're starting to cross a line that we need to be careful of. So my fear is that as people see those things being provided, that more people are going to ask, and I don't know where we draw the line, but there's a place where people need to pursue that on a personal level as opposed to having the tribal council do that or somebody provide it for them. Part of the Well, we're an open. I'll just say it this way. So part of the work comes from something personal, and if it is something that is done for them, then it's not going to have the same effect. So I just want to be careful that we don't cross the line from what we do as a government to what we do personally in supporting those types of things.
The one thing I wonder about is and I definitely supporting our folks, is how many facilities do we have people in across the nation? And how do we basically support all of them? I don't know that. Tom?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair and Greg. Those comments, that's why I said as long as we're doing this for everybody, because we're obligated by the Constitution to provide equal access to opportunities once we express them and do them. So we do this at one place, we got to be prepared that we're going to do it at every place.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, and I think that kind of support in terms of travel or official presence, I think that's good. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. I just I'm fearful about getting in the business of providing things for people that they need to be doing for themselves, or it needs to be done on a personal level, not on an official level. So.
Go ahead, Carol.
I respect that a lot and understand what you're saying, Greg. But I also see a point where people are not able to, I guess, seek some of these things without asking others to help. And understanding and realizing freedom of a religion, and I don't know if that extends to somebody that's incarcerated, but there's an ask. And I feel like, when somebody asks a question like that, and I have the ability to ask others to help me, like Martin, and they're able to do that, I'm willing to go the extra mile for that. And for not just that prison, there's people in Tennessee and Nashville, around Nashville, I think the 2 other areas. And so I'm willing to do what I can. And if it means just me doing it, that's fine. I just thought I would extend it out there, and I appreciate the comment because they're important.
Thank you, Carol. Tom, you had something for open?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up if we were gonna let's spend some time on our reminding me in council minutes viewing the personnel issue. We're going to talk about a little bit more, talk about in our chairs meeting or where our schedule is for the administrative situation in the future, and then how we express and conduct our code of conduct.
Thank you, Don. Dan, you were looking for executive?
Can we go into executive?
We will go out of regular into executive. Um, Taylor, they're ready. We're ready for you, Jim.
I'm back already.
Good to see you. We're ready, James.
Morning, members of the council. Good to see you all. It's my privilege this morning to introduce Denise Juneau, who you've already met and offered the position of Associate Attorney Justice on the Appellate Court. I'm here today with a contract. I think you have the contract and the resolution in your packets. A copy signed by Dana. We're asking the council to approve the contract, enact the resolution, and then we'll get Dana sworn in. I think I first met Denise, first met Denise when she was in law school. And if I remember right, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, but she and Rhonda were on a moot court team, I think for NALSA. And I helped judge one of their or one of the practices for their competition. So kind of come full circle. Now I'm Chief Justice and getting her sworn in on the court. So it's kind of a great day all around.
Denise, are you active now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, got it all taken care of.
And I provided that to Abby. It should be in your packet, I think.
What, no. What do you have, Martin?
I was just gonna make the motion.
Okay, motion to approve the contract and resolution by Martin, second by Tom. All in favor? We're unanimous.
Thank you. I'll present the contract.
Cool.
Judge Pluff is here.
Perfect. I'll let them worry about saving it. I'll just sign. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much.
And you? Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want a quick break?
We will take a break. On break.
Mike, can we go into executive?
So this will be a shareholders meeting? Will this be a shareholders meeting?
I just know for sure he wanted executive though, Mike.
We will go out of regular into S&K business shareholders and go into executive. I guess we're ready, Brad. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for taking the time to see me today. I know you guys are busy. Purpose of this, the chairman and I talked, it's been several months ago now, and I brought up it may be a good idea for me to come up and present to council what we've been doing. I'm just started my third year as the chief judge, and I kind of want to give you an update of what's been going on for the last several years and give you an opportunity to hear things. I know nobody comes over and tells you guys how good the court's doing. Usually hearing bad things, I'm assuming. And so give you an opportunity to hear some other things about the court that you're not normally going to hear. I'll just give you a heads up. I had my staff help me prepare this, so I don't write in first person. It may seem like that. I don't refer to myself in first person, but it looks like that in here a couple of times. That's not how I talk. So first, the basics, types of cases we handle. I think you guys are aware of that. We handle everything, all criminal, misdemeanors, felonies, traffic, all civil matters. We basically do everything the justice of the peace and the district court judges do. We do it all in one group here with the tribe. Family law, we do divorces, child custody cases, mental health commitments, adult protection services, driver's license, suspended, fishing game. We cover it all. It covers them all. And then it breaks down that the clerks broke down the statistics for cases that were filed from January 2025 through December. That total is 1,511 cases, new cases filed. We handle all those. And then, as you know, the cases that start in 2024, a large majority of those bleed over into 2025. So our caseload is much higher than what the 1,500 that it says. I don't know. I couldn't give you an exact number of the total cases, open, active cases now. I could get, if you want that number, I can get it for you. I can have them research that and get it for you.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, looking at it from a trend, are the number of cases going up, going down, staying about the same? What's your sense?
So as you know, we just started doing more felony cases, and so those have gone up. But for whatever reason, I know that it's not, the police are sending in more reports on misdemeanor cases, but less are being filed that was under mail-in for whatever reason. She wasn't filing as many as we normally would get of misdemeanors for some reason. And I'm not quite, I didn't get a chance to talk to her about that. I don't know why. I know that she's getting as many reports from the law enforcement. But for whatever reason, there are fewer misdemeanors filed with the court. And, you know, they have their prosecutorial discretion, and I'm not really in the business of asking them why, but I'm sure she had her reasons. So, but and everything else is going up. I mean, we're not getting, things aren't not slowing down. Everything's going up. So, and to help with that, back in, when I was the acting chief judge back in 2018, we started the full court program, which helps, it's a case management system that we have over there, and it keeps track of, that's how they were able to come up with these numbers. It keeps track of our dockets, the judges, it helps us, it assigns each case to a judge. And it keeps track of everything. And we're just scratching the surface of it right now. We're in the process. The clerks are constantly going to training to learn more about this. Like I said, we're scratching the surface of it. And once we get, the goal is to make the court a paperless court. And we're probably 50% through with that now. As you can imagine, we have a mountain of files that need to be inputted into this. And we've created a position, we've hired somebody, and that's all they do all day. Is sit in a room and upload files that need to be in the system. Next up is if you have any questions about the case management system. I know that was brief, okay. The,
Brad, are you sharing this on screen? We do have
Yeah.
a couple.
I am, I just scrolled down to the number 4.
It's not
You,
coming up.
no, I think you need to put yours in HDMI, Mike.
No, I understand. I'm wondering, our folks that are on Zoom, can they see this?
Oh,
Because
I can see it.
those are the same as these monitors though. That's HDMI. Tom, can you see this?
Abby,
No,
Nope, can't see it.
no, can't see it.
Am I doing something, there's something I need to do?
we're having computer problems. I'm trying to pull it up so I can put it on and then I'll share with you.
Yeah, no, this has been kind of all day thing, sorry.
All right. You want me to wait?
Just a second.
Okay.
We should be able to get this shared. Is it happening, Jen, or you want? You can do it on mine. Yeah, you can if you want. Just, I've got it there. Just hit share and that should come up.
Yeah.
And
And then double click on it. And then go up there where it says remote control,
click that.
Yep, see it now.
chambers. There.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see it on Zoom there, Brad? You should be able to move it.
I can see it. I can't move. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Okay. For down number 4 then, so up until now, there's never been really a policy and procedures manual, a financial policies and procedure manual. The court has always had policies and procedures that they followed, but it's never been in a manual, and we felt like we needed to develop a manual because of some issues we've had in the past with the financial stuff. And that was the final step. And, you know, I've always wanted to set up, because we quit taking cash. We no longer take cash at the court. We take, you have to get a money order if you want to come pay a fine. And I'm sure you guys have heard about that. There's problems. So I'm hoping within the next month, we'll be up and running on our, we'll be able to take credit cards or debit cards. You can come in and pay at the court with a card, or we're going to have it set up. You can go to our website. That's the tribe's website. And then tribal court has a site within that website. You can go on there and pay your fine or fee, and that'll help people for not having to come in, save them some time. I think it's going to up our intake. It's a pain in the butt to go down and get a money order or so hopefully that helps with that. And I know, Mr. Steele called me personally and asked me, because he apparently was getting some complaints about not being able to pay with a credit card. And I told him that this was coming. And so we're getting close. So hopefully we're a month or so away from that. And so that's going to help alleviate some of those problems. Number 5 is the healing court. Started this in 2023. I'm really proud of how far we've come in 2 years. Created this so we can try to divert some criminal cases into the healing court. I think it's pretty obvious that just sticking people in jail over and over and over again for the same thing wasn't working. And so we focus on people that have drug addictions or alcohol addiction, and try to get them into healing court and divert their cases, so get it off their record, and at the same time help them to get clean and sober. It's going really well so far. This year we've had 25 participants, and 5 have graduated, and we had 1 termination. We anticipate a large number of this other 19 left to graduate this year. The healing course consisted of a healing court team, which includes, we have Ann Miller from the defender's office, Josh Cahoon, the new prosecutor, Kelly McDonald, took over from Aylin. Tish from probation, got Louis Fiddler from the law enforcement, and then Dr. Fox, and then Carol is the council representative. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. We just brought in a couple of elders, Francine Dupuy and Francis, which Francis? Oh, Francis All, yes,
Carol's got a question.
yes.
I just wanted to say that, yeah, we brought in a cultural component, which I don't know any other, the Healy Drug Court up there doesn't have, but I think I would like to see if the council would come over at the next healing court, which is not next week, but the following week, between 11 and 12, and just sit in it and observe, right?
Yeah.
They can. I think it's important that you guys observe to see what what actually goes on in there. That's pretty cool to see
Yeah.
some of these people that have had,
Thursday.
it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
It's every other Thursday. We had healing court today, so it's 2 Thursdays from today. It's the next
Anyway,
week.
I just think the council will get a good sense of what's the healing that is going on, and then also maybe observe that, you know, if you have people that you know that need help, this is the place for them to at least work towards getting
Yeah.
into.
And you don't have to have a charge, a criminal charge to get into healing court. I mean, we'd encourage people that referred from other areas and get them in there and try to help them as well. And we have a few of those as well. So I think it's going really well so far. We just hired a new coordinator, Selena Peak. And I think we got a case manager hired that is going to start next week. We'll see. So it's, I think they're going to want you to sign some kind of confidentiality thing. ROI, yep, ROI to do that, but we'll get that set up if you guys pick a day. Do you want to come over?
Would you want all 10 at one time, or should we come like 3 at a time and not be
Yeah.
quite so?
Yeah, we just did it all at once. If you'd
All
like.
at once.
Let's get them all back
Okay.
there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I say, I don't have nothing scheduled for the 5th, so we could do council like normal, and then you guys go on a field trip from 10:30 to go over, then if we have agenda stuff, back to 1 o'clock again.
Yep, that'll work.
Prior to going to the court is a session where it's pretty
Staffing.
confidential with
Yeah,
staff.
from 9:30 to 11, the team meets and we staff into each individual and kind of get an idea where they are and where we want to guide them next. So, but then at 11 o'clock, from 11 to, it's about an hour every time.
So schedule is 11 to 12.
Okay, and I'll get with the rest of the team and make sure that we're ready for that. Yeah. So,
Quick
okay.
question.
Yes.
I know that we worked really hard to get the culture component in there. Have you guys heard back from the Salish Culture Committee? Because I know that there's been numerous outreach attempts to them.
We have not. In fact, we've started, I'll skip ahead to number 6. The court started a culture, community service and education program. Worked with Vernon down in Elmo. He's excited about it. He anxious to get started. We've reached out to Sadie down at the St. Ignatius, and we can't get anywhere with them. They won't answer back. We can't get we had a meeting scheduled. I sent Judge Jacobson down, and for whatever reason, she wouldn't see her. That she said she was busy, wouldn't see her. And so I don't know what's going on down there. We tried to get him involved in the healing court. Can't get a response from him, and we try to get him involved in our new cultural community service education program. And
Trevor was going to get back to me. I thought it.
yeah, I told her, I talked to you about it, and she wants to give her a chance to respond before you get involved.
Yeah,
But-
so I'm waiting to hear from Bevra.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so,
I was just going to suggest that possibly Bever schedule actually on the Salish Kootenai or Salish elders meeting. And I think this one for the month is already done, but it's the first Wednesday of the month. Then she's talking directly to the advisors as well as Sadie being there.
yeah, because the idea is for the culture community service is, we'll have defendants in lieu of paying fines. Maybe we do some community service, mowing lawns, clearing snow, general cleanup stuff. I don't want that to begin down in Elmo and then hear from the other side, say, hey, what's going on? Why are we not included in this? I want to avoid that if I can. So, but yeah, I'll pass that along to her and we'll just get her down to the Salish Elders meeting. The first Wednesday of the month, right? Okay.
Well, I'm waiting for Bevra.
Right. I'll talk to Beverly and see if
connection,
she's heard from her.
And then we can make that decision.
Okay. I'll talk to Beverly and see if she's heard from her. So. All right. So did you have any more questions? Any questions about Healing Court?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. How does an individual?
So what happens is they have to be referred from somebody. And then they'll meet with Josh Cahoon, who does all, he kind of screens them for us. And what happens is that they're going to get an evaluation done by a counselor. And if they score high enough that they could use our services, then we'll take them. Okay. Any other questions on Healing Court? No. And I kind of touched base on the Culture Community Service Program. It's brand new. We're in the infantile stages of that. I'm excited about that. I think it's going to go really, I hope it goes really well. Kind of get the culture committees involved in some of these things.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking that, I think that you should clarify. I know that the community, because I was trying when the past, Healing Court coordinator was there to get out in the community to do, more education about the Healing Court, because I believe that some people confuse the Lake County Drug Court, which Carol, had, is a part of, with our Healing Court, and it's totally two different, like, they get charged in Lake
Yeah.
County, they get charged here, and I think.
I think that's a good idea. I'll talk to our new coordinator about getting out in the community and educating people, because not only do they confuse Healing Court with drug court, but they think Healing Court is something that it's not. And there definitely needs to be some education to the communities, and we'll try to orchestrate that and get that organized and going. So, okay.
Walk with Rob.
What's that? Yeah. The Culture Community Service, okay, we talked about that. I think that's going to be, we're just starting that. We'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful that goes well. I mean, there's always been an issue of trying to get the culture and kind of how do you intertwine that with the court system. I think this is a start in that direction. It's never been tried to my knowledge, so we're going to try it, see how it goes. Hopefully it works out. Public Law 280. Court is continue working. We're trying to build infrastructure to meet the requirements for the Taloa and VAWA requirements. So we, as you know, we hired an attorney judge. We brought her on in 2024. And that's one of the requirements to be I know there's always difference of opinion of what law trained judge means. So we just hired an attorney judge. I think that satisfies it. I still think that we have law trained judges over there, and we have to, we make sure we get our hours of education every year. And so we're up on the laws as we need to be. But along with, we're trying to modernize the court and tribal court system. And that leads me to the next one where we expanded the courtroom expansion. This started back in 2020 on a CTAS grant. At the time, I can't remember what the budget was, 1.3 million, I think. And at that time, that bought you a new courtroom, a full remodel of the judges' chambers, full remodel of the clerk's offices, and getting the bathrooms up to date. They're outdated now over there. And then, of course, COVID happened. Everything was put on hold. After the hold was lifted, prices went way up on everything, and now we could no longer afford to do everything we wanted to do. So we kind of sat on it for a while, hoping prices would come back down, and they came down a little. They obviously didn't come back down to the pre-COVID prices. So we had to adjust what we're going to do with that money. And so we expanded the courtroom and redid the clerk's area a little bit. Judge's area hasn't been touched, and the bathrooms aren't touched. So we've changed things a little bit over there. I like the new courtroom. It's bigger. There are some kinks that we're still working out. Most of those are IT things. having trouble with the recording system or the Zoom or for the record is what we use to record all of our hearings. Having some issues with that. But I think we'll work those out. See, IT is working really hard on getting those things worked out. I think it's gonna be, and then of course you're not supposed to have chairs for whatever reason. Well, I know why, because people use them, it could be used as a weapon, like folding chairs. Most courtrooms have benches. And we had benches in the old courtroom, but they didn't fit in this one. So we have to order benches, and those are not cheap, it turns out. I mean, those ones we had in the old courtroom were like 12 grand. And so the new ones are gonna be at least that, probably more. So we're gonna try to find some money for that. And I have a plan for that, so we'll see. We'll see if that works out, hopefully. Number 9, the tribal court mediation program. This is the first mediation program that this tribal court's ever had. I don't think any other court system around here has a mediation program. I mean, they order mediation, but you have to go find third-party mediation and pay for it. We have orders, and especially in our child support cases, not child support, but child custody cases. Before you come back to court with a dispute, you have to go to third-party mediation. The problem is that's expensive. People were not able to find third-party mediators, and if they could find them, they couldn't afford them. And so I attended the National Judicial College last month, or no, it was a couple of months ago now. And they have a mediation course. It's a week-long course down there where you don't attend it's I think 40 hours of instruction, and then you get a mediation certificate. So I'm certified to mediate in Montana. And we started the mediation program, and the hope is that that's going to take some of the load off our family law, mostly disputes over child custody. You know, I tell people all the time when I'm in and they're arguing about child custody that we're going to do what's best interest of the child, and they know what's in the best interest of the child, and they should be able to figure that out instead of having me listen to them argue for an hour and then telling them what I think is best for the child when I wouldn't know the child if you walked in the door. Makes no sense to me. So we're going to try this, and we've had one successful mediation so far. It was our first one. They came in, I sat with them, and my job is to kind of just guide them in a direction to help them figure it out, and they did. Took a couple hours, but we got it done, and we did a parenting plan, and we took that off the docket. And the hope is we're going to do that with several of our child custody cases. Could also do it in civil cases when there's an argument over money. Those are eligible for mediation as well. I know my clerk has started a mediation schedule that is starting to fill up. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna be busy in mediation court, I think.
Do you have to recuse yourself if the
Yeah.
mediation falls out?
Yeah, if I'm the judge, I can't mediate it. So hopefully, if something comes up that I think needs mediation, I would assign that to another judge and then step in as the mediator. So
And if you do mediate a case and it falls apart and comes to the court, then you'd have to.
it goes to a
recuse.
different judge.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, next one is the website and court forms. We just finished our, well, actually, it's been up and running for a while. Our tribal court website, we just moved it onto the tribe's overall website. We're just a portion of that now. We used to be standing alone on our own, and now it's we've developed. I really like it. You can get on there and you can download forms and with instructions on how to fill out for a divorce, child custody, restraining orders, any form that we have. They're on there with instructions on how to fill them out and what to do. That saves the amount of time our clerks were spending doing that. This frees up a mountain of time for them. So this has been really good. I'm happy to see. I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. But it's going really well so far. The website court forms. That's a new thing that we've done over the last couple of years. We also hired a tribal court administrator. She helps me immensely. I mean, it makes makes all the wheels move. She helps with the budget. She helps with scheduling, the grant work that she does. You know, she takes that and then she is able to. She took some of the duties that were formerly assigned to the clerk of court and does those, so she has more time to do the things that she's supposed to do according to the code. It's all codified what she's supposed to do. And she was having a tough time with those as as it was, but so that helped a lot. And she's so busy, she's wanting an assistant. We're working on that. We'll see how that goes, but she's very busy. And so that's a new position with the court since I've been appointed chief judge. Tawahi money. We got some Tawahi money 2023. That's helped a lot with the healing court. We use a lot of those funds with the healing court. Use some of it for the incentives we give. We give gas cards, phone cards, Walmart cards for incentives. And sometimes we give them for people that need them that don't have a phone and you stay in touch with the healing court. We also use it for training. We make sure that the judges get the training that's required in our contracts. The training that we budget for in our travel budget is not big enough. That covers maybe 2 or 3 trips. And we need to have more than that to make sure that our judges are trained. And so we use Tawahi money for that. And that's a continuing thing. Hopefully we're going to get renewed again for this upcoming this upcoming batch. We're hoping. Next up is the jury duty stuff. I guess I'm looking for a little guidance from the council. So it's pretty clear in the travel code how we select jurors. What's supposed to happen is the clerk of court gets 1,000 names from enrollment at the first of the year. And then from those names, we randomly draw 50 each month and we send out questionnaires at the beginning of the year. They send the questionnaires back. And then we pick 50 each month to serve on jury duty. The problem is, since the tribe started doing direct deposit for per capitas, people don't update their addresses. So we get a large number, a majority of them come back that there's nobody at that address anymore. And so we have no current addresses for people. And we've had several mistrials because we can't get enough jurors there using this system. And I've been talking with the defenders and the prosecutors trying to come up with a new way, but it's going to have to be something that's changed in the code. That's going to have to go through legal and then through you guys. So we're working on a plan. But if you guys have another idea on how to find folks, we don't have addresses for everybody, and we don't, and we really struggle getting 50. We never get 50 people there on jury duty day. If there's a jury that day, we never get all 50 of them to show up. We might get, if we get 30, we're good. We can usually get it. But the last couple of times we've had under 20. And by the time you voir dire them and eliminate some of them, you have to have 6 with an alternate. And there's been a couple of trials that we had mistrials because we didn't have enough jurors. So,
Jamie?
I was just wondering if, excuse me, we do get out the vote every year, the contract with Erica, and I'm wondering if she has a list of our tribal members with addresses, because I know they go out door to door.
I don't know. I know that one thing we're going to try, we just talked about this last week. We're going to put the list of 50 jurors. We don't have a Facebook page, but we're going to put it on the Charcousas Facebook page because that seems to get around with the word around of names that are on jury duty, and tell them if you're on this list, contact the court, and because you're on jury duty next month. I don't know if that'll work or not. That's
I
one
wonder if
option.
we can find a way to get addresses from tribal health.
Tribal health too, maybe. Yeah. So. And I don't know if that's something that's going to have to be changed in the code, because the code's pretty specific for whatever reason. The clerk's going to get 1,000 names from enrollment every year. That's what it says. So we may have to do some minor changes on that. If
Craig?
So I'm curious as to how the voter list is broken out by district if we don't have physical addresses.
There's a lot of physical addresses that are wrong on the voters list. A lot of times we end up with finding people and asking if they are a valid vote and finding them in a district that they're not actually listed at. And as long as we find them in a district, we're okay as far as voting goes, but they need to update their addresses. When we send out the ballot, sometimes we do send a change of address with it, and we get some of those back with the ballot sometimes. So we get some updating done, but not anywhere near what needs to be. And I've advocated that we end up with a system that when you update your address in one agency of the tribe, it is across the whole organization, but we've never gotten to that. Even to the point that you can update in one health clinic and not get updated in others. And so,
Yeah, another part of the problem was people figured out that, we send out those, and if they get them, I think they kind of figured out if I don't fill this out and send it in, then it's like I didn't get it. And that's how it was. I mean, the only people that summonses would go out for are the ones that filled their questionnaire out and sent it in. So we stopped doing that. We started sending out summonses if they didn't show up. And so we've got, for the last couple of months, last couple of jury trials, we've had 20 or 30 summonses that come in. I tell them it's a $200 fine. I can put you on the jury list for next month. And it's kind of working, but the hope was that word would get out. That was going to happen and people would start showing up, and it's not.
so you're looking for something like a notice in the Charcusta that.
Well, on their Facebook page.
Yep.
These people are on jury duty this month or next month. Contact the court, and hopefully that'll get word out to some of them. I don't know.
Well, and in the paper product as well, and that be their notification that they're on jury duty and that they go into contempt if they don't show up,
Yeah, well,
whether they're mailed to or not. Is that what you're talking about?
we send the mail. We send them out. The questionnaires out to the addresses we have, and if they don't appear, then we put summonses out.
The other question I have is, could code include a possibility of going to juryless trial with when you don't have the.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you say that again.
Could it go to sort of devolve into a trial without a jury?
Trial without it, yeah. Well, the Constitution says everybody's entitled to a jury by their peers, so that's
Understood.
tough hurdle to get over. Yeah, yeah. So one of the suggestions was to use the tribal employees, whether they're tribal members or not, and so we'd have some non-members sitting on the jury. But I don't know if we want to go that route or not. I mean, people are going to say this is non-members, not a peer of mine, but I don't know. That was a suggestion that somebody brought up, so I don't know what the answer is, but.
As far as to go forward without a jury, you could have a voluntary type of thing.
Yeah, if somebody would to volunteer that, I can tell you, knowing Ann, not happening. She's not going to let that happen. Knowing Ann, yeah. She's not going to let that happen, right? You don't let them go to jury without volunteering, not have a jury.
Waive their right.
Right. And normally that's not going to happen. Right, yes, exactly. So, I didn't know everybody was sitting back there. Finally, the tribal court improvement program. I think that's been a program with the tribes and they're on a grant, but for the last 5 years. And I'll tell you, it's a tribal court improvement program that I didn't even know existed until 3 years ago. And I thought that was strange because we're the tribal court and we don't know there's a tribal court improvement program. So and they have a pot of money that helps for training. I think they give funding to Ann as well for training and for us for training. I talked with Michelle Mitchell, who is the acting director, I think, over that program. And she's the one that suggested, why are they not under the court? And I said, I was wondering the same thing. So the plan is I prepared an updated org chart, and we're going to bring them over under the court. And just I think that just takes a step out of the process of accessing some of the money for training. And I don't know if you guys got that. I sent it over, but I was late. So you haven't got it yet, but I've got it here. I don't know if that's something we can do today or set a separate date for that to approve a new org chart.
I get it scheduled.
Get a schedule. Okay, I'll do that. But that's coming. That's going to be, that's the plan. So.
Cool.
Yeah, I know that we've had the discussion about probation. And I know, is Dan Decker back there? Dan Decker had said that a lot of probation programs are actually under the court as well. So I don't know if that's a consideration, or I know Carol talked about making it its own program, but you might talk to John Decker about that, about probation.
Okay. Yeah, the problem always gonna be, I mean, probation's got their spot, but, Michelle asked if I had the physical space to put them, and I think we do. But we're running out of space, just like everybody else is. Sure. So
Question for Brad?
that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Yep.
Can we go into executive?
We'll go out of regular into executive.
Can I leave? Good.
I think you could stay.
That the federal government already has a list of our membership through the last.
I hope you all noticed I did send an email out that contained 69D in reference to travel preference and interviewing. And the one thing I noted was that the interview process is tagged as establishing whether a person has the minimum requirements for a job position. And so if we want it to be applied earlier than that, we need to make a difference. We need to change that. But I've been thinking about it. I kind of like the language, but I'm certainly willing to discuss it. So if people can take a look at that, maybe we can have that discussion on Tuesday. Jamie?
Yeah, I would like to have a further discussion. I did just want to point out, though, that I think that the policy, the current policy of allowing non-members to interview is actually not in 69D. That was a direction by Rick Eneas. And if they actually followed the policy of 69D, only tribal members would interview. And so then the next step would be the selection in the interview process. But I just wanted to point that out.
Again, we can further that discussion next week. Carol?
Being here, I don't recall Rick Eneas ever saying anything like that. So where did that come from, Jamie? Do you know?
It's an email that was sent by Rick that was vetted through legal to personnel on how they should establish interviews.
Was it to the council too?
I don't remember it ever coming to council. It went directly to personnel. It was like an executive order to personnel.
Okay.
Basically vetted through the legal department. Greg?
Yeah, just a little background on that. Some of the discussions that I had when I was in personnel about 5 or 6 years ago were on this point, and that was before Rick's time. But basically what it boiled down to was a discussion about whether or not there was any point in interviewing a non-tribal member if there were qualified tribal members in the pool. Okay, so that was the discussion that we had. And at no point was there ever any discussion about when you could hire a non-tribal member if there were qualified tribal members in the pool. So it was a procedural question. Do you interview them or not? We decided at that time that it was best, since we were providing a service to the hiring department, that it was up to the hiring department if they wanted to extend interviews to other people, then they could. But if they were interviewing a qualified tribal member, they needed to go there unless there was something in that interview that disqualified that person. And so that's where it was left. And then I understand later that Rick Eneas came in and said, we're going to change that policy or something. And but it's process. None of that changed the outcome of the policy. And the outcome and the policy is very straightforward. if you have a qualified tribal member, you hire the qualified tribal member.
The point I'm making is that the 69D says that termination is done at interview. That's the thing that we'll have to change. I say that that qualification of that person is done at interview by 69D. That's in 69D. That's the point. And my point is that we have to change that if we're going to have it other than that, because that's what it says. Interview satisfies whether the applicant meets the position description. It says that point blank. The language is there. Jamie?
I just wanted to say that with the discussion that we have, I would like to add like workforce development and training. And I mean, like when Casey came in, or no, it wasn't Casey, the one that came in with Moss Tanner. Because Moss Tanner's been down that, you know, that bad road, and he's doing so good right now, and he has that opportunity to get the on-the-job training, and I just want to see more of our tribal members have that opportunity. And so when we talk about the requirements in 69D, I really hope that we can talk about on-the-job training, other types of training and workforce development, that we could get more tribal members in these positions.
Any other thoughts? Please review the section that looks at tribal preference and hiring, and I hope at least what I found and supplied for everybody to look at, and we'll hopefully finish this discussion, and if something needs to be amended, and I'm right there with you, Jamie, we got to train. There's no doubt about it. Other thoughts? If not, that's our agenda for today. Jay Hoy.